First, thank you all for letting me have the opportunity to talk here to speak to you today. My name is Ole Borgbjerg. I'm responsible for Kepware business development in Europe, and I'm going to inform you a little bit about what is Kepware and about our communication platforms and a little bit of our work in the IoT as well. Kepware is a US-based company. We are about 125 people, and Kepware is all about connectivity. It means that all we do in Kepware is doing software products for connectivity. We provide communication platforms that transfer industrial data from A to B, critical data, data which is secured, etc. And we provide a platform that provide the bridge between all kind of hardware, all kind of software, to all kind of hardware and all kind of software. And we make it possible for people and managers to make decisions based on data they get from the applications. Our software platforms are used widely in different verticals. No doubt that manufacturing today is our largest vertical, taking 65 to 70% of all of our platforms. But we are growing very heavily in other industries like oil and gas, power, utilities, IT and infrastructure. And I can say with good faith that OPC UA is one of the things that is actually driving that today. And that is because of the secure and reliable data transfer provided by this protocol or architecture. The Kepware Legacy is actually all about OPC. The company started down in '95 making drivers for small HMI panels and developed very quickly to be a general software company to make communication platforms for linking PLCs or devices on the plant floor to any kind of software on the top. It means HMIs, SCADA systems, ERP systems, MES systems. And we adapted the OPC standard or the OPC functionality from day one. So if you look at what we have done in the last 20 years, that is actually made a software platform which was based or worked around the OPC standards. So today we have an install base of communication platforms on all kind of sites, factories, manufacturing sites around the world, providing communication functionality within the OPC, DA, AE, HDA, XML, .NET, all of them there. To give a little impression of what are we actually doing in terms of numbers, I can say that last year we sold about plus 45,000 licenses. That includes OPC. It means that just last year we enabled devices or software platforms, manufacturing plants with OPC in some extent. We are definitely one of the doers within OPC. The communication platform, the Kepware flagship product is called KEPServerEX, and that is one platform where we try to utilize all the different type of communication. In the past, I wrote legacy of that. That's because we started OPC, but today our platform is much more than OPC, but it's actually the way of connecting OPC to everything else. And today we have in our communication platforms, we support open standard protocols. It means IEC protocols that is open, like all the utility drivers, 6870, 61850, DNP3. We are supporting like backnet protocols, which also is an open standard. Modbus, I don't know if it's an open standard, but almost an open standard. Besides that, we are vendor independent. It means that we support more than 150 suites of drivers and more than 300 different protocols. If you have a hardware device with a communication on it, I'm almost sure we have the driver for it. Besides that, we have support on the upper level communication for a lot of the big vendors in the market, like GE, Allen Bradley, Wonderware, etc. It means we have vendor-specific interfaces as well. Client interfaces. The client interfaces is, of course, we are OPC servers. That was how we started up years back, but today we are much more than supporting OPC DA, UA, HDA, AE. We are also supporting a lot of IT interfaces, ODBC, Excel, SNMP. We are supporting some funny names like REST and MQTT, which you will hear a little bit about more later. We are supporting, again, later vendor interfaces like GE, Oracle, Wonderware, SuiteLink, etc. It means that we have directly interfaces for specific vendors' software. Besides that, we have also already today special interfaces for IoT analytic platforms. One of them is Splunk, if you have ever heard about that. But in general, we try to provide open interfaces, open protocols at our top level as well. What is specific about our platform? The platform is that everything is built up like a single data aggregator. Everything is run in a multi-threaded way. It means that all the different client interfaces we have, it means that the interfaces where people connect to us is multi-threaded. Each connection is a thread. We have even a single thread for each tag group, for each subscription. It means that we have a very good performance from the client side. On the channel side, it means the connection we have downwards to devices, PLCs, whatever connectivity, whatever talk tool or whatever device you have on the lower side, we have also, it is also driven in each a thread. And it means that it's not one driver and one thread. Every connection in each thread. It means do you have a Siemens PLC or an Allen Bradley PLC? You can actually design that you have a single thread to each PLC, which give you a really nice performance. I could mention a lot of cases about that, but I will rest that case. Again, what is powerful about our platform is that it is multi-threading, which increases the performance and stability. Besides having all the communication interfaces from upwards and downwards, we have a number of what we call plugins, where you can actually manipulate the data that you're getting in from anywhere. And if we look at it, we are trying a little bit like this, looking like one of these Lego blocks where you can plug in what you want. And when I'm coming from Denmark, that is a nice approach. Support the local companies. But in terms of plugins, we have a number of different plugins that you can add in to use if you want them. Advanced Tag is one of them, where you can manipulate your data. This is not a soft PLC, but you can link data together. It means do you have two PLCs on your site you want to link together? You don't have to invent a new OPC like goose message. You can actually just link it together in our platform. Just link two tags together. You can scale them. You can make average values of them and do whatever you want. Media level redundancy. If you want redundancy on any of our driver connections, it means to a Siemens PLC and a Bradley Omron OPC UA driver. If you want a secure connection from our platform to another OPC UA server, you can actually create a redundant 2-3 channels if you want, and everything is controlled directly in our platform. Security is a big issue. for everybody. And we have a security policy plugin if you want advanced security. It means you want to protect your data from OPC UA. We can, down to the single tag, decide exactly who have access to read, write, even look at it. Some that a lot of our customers are benefiting of today, especially in the utility segment like oil and gas, where we provide big data databases for all their different tags, which is representing different areas of a plant. We can divide the data and say these guys have only access to read these tags, these guys have only access to read these tags, etc., etc. Data logger, you can simply data log any data from inside our platform out to any kind of ODBC database. Very simple, fast. Log your data into any ODBC database, even to a Access database if you want that. Scheduler, if you have not standard polling functionality, if you want to only make a connection and poll a device once a day, which is nice in the feature because you will have a lot of remote features. We have a scheduler you can plug in, and then you can make a complete connection scheme about when should it make dial-up or connection or whatever, handled directly by a scheduler. Then we have two OPC plugins, the local historian, which directly push the data to an HGA client. And we have alarm and events that provide alarming and configuration of decide exactly the alarms you want to a AE server. Besides that, we have some special components that is set up for special drivers in special segments where you not can use OPC data or standard tags, where you actually want to transfer a file data or something like this. We have different type of exporters. An EFM exporter is a really good example of it for oil and gas applications. If you recall some of the examples you saw earlier by Stefan, some of them you saw software toolbox and other names there, and if you click around there and behind, you will actually find Kepware there, and they're using the EFM exporter there. The last one we just got now is the IoT Gateway, and that is the link we have for providing data to the IoT space. I will give you a little more information about that. But all in all, this is powerful tools that you can benefit of if you are using our communication platform and using that to aggregate all your data. So a summary, proven interoperability. We have a lot of drivers and client connectivity. You have one platform, single platform, really powerful and reliable. It eases your maintenance. You have only one place to install, implement your drivers or make your changes and so on. You don't have 5 different systems. You have only one place. On-demand scalability. We provide licenses from single machines with one PLC and one small HMI to large systems. Big application where you have 2, 3, 4 million tags. Our platform is totally scalable and you don't have to do anything. There's no limitations, only your operating system and your PC makes the differences. Industrial strength. I think our proven reliability is showing this. If you look at our track record and if you ask around what people think about Kepware product, let them speak for our reliability. Okay. Yeah. OPC UA connectivity. That is the topic now. Everybody is talking about it. And so to give you let's say, a way of understanding what Kepware, KEPServerEX actually support. First of all, it support OPC UA client, driver, so you can connect to PLCs, packs, all kind of devices that has an OPC UA server. Right now we support the DA model, but we are standing in the start blocks here and finding out what of the new models is actually going to be used in the industry. We are waiting on this. We have been waiting on this the last 2 years and are ready to adapt whenever PLCs or special devices come or special demands. We are driven by the customer, and they are actually, if there is a business case and we can see this is the developing going, we are implementing new models, but still we are waiting. We have some 4 or 5 already in the looking at them very carefully, because we have customers just close to say, hey, this is where we are going, and but we are waiting for this actually to happen also. Besides that, we provide site-to-site secure UA tunneling using again the real OPC DA info model, and we do that with large amount of data. Because of our scalability and the multi-threading performance, we can move hundred thousands of data over our UA tunnel in a very fast time, and it's today utilized in about, I made a short calculation here, just the last this year we have sold about 2,500 of these applications. Finally, what we are providing from today is that we are offering access from OPC client, OPC UA client and OPC server interfaces to new IoT interfaces. I know that the OPC Foundation is talking about providing all this sub-pop new functionality to the OPC UA, but the fact is that the industry is already asking for it out there. So we have, at this stage, pressed and moved by customers, all of these providing large enterprise systems. We have actually added functionality to read and write data into cloud systems, enterprise systems, to analytics systems. One of our best selling in terms of OPC UA is this UA tunneler, OPC tunneling functionality, where we just put in each side a KEPServerEX. In one side we put up the OPC client driver, and the other one we put up a server and connect whatever driver to your data source, because on this one, on each server, we have always the OPC UA server free of charge that is sitting on each installation. So we can simply set up a secure tunnel here by using 2 installations of our OPC UA server. And in this case here, all you have to pay for is the driver. This one is for free. This one is for free, but you need a driver, of course. Benefits: multi-threading connections means fast transfer of large data. Security policies mean you can make data access management a requirement from a lot of customers. And then we can provide redundancy in the connections over here by using our media level redundancy plugin. Okay, now I'm switching a little bit just to explain a little bit about the functionality we have added in terms of IoT driven by customer. Everybody's talking about IoT, IoT Industry 4.0, and now the latest one is Industrial Internet. And we have been trying to translate that over the last 4 years, 2 years. We got a good explanation of what Stefan is looking at it, how he sees it. And I all agree with Stefan, but we are driven by customers. It means that until the OPC Foundation and everybody has been agreed about a sub-pop model for pushing data via OPC into to the cloud, then we are already supplying the first trial applications for real IoT applications. And what is it actually that we have been explained about the IoT? What we can see is that it is a matter of connecting. The challenge is we have to connect dissimilar data and dissimilar networks and standard protocols. It means that we are going to connect data from the factory floor, data from environmental data, all kind of data. IoT is not only about factory. It is to collect data from all kind of types of data into one platform. It is also about data sharing. You should be able to share any data with anyone, not only from the operational space, also from the information space, like the IT space, which is already there. There are big systems running already where they're monitoring IT security, and they're starting monitoring current consumptions and all things which is not alone related to the operational space. And then the challenge is, of course, turning all these large set of data into valid information. The opportunities for us is that we can make a lot of already collected data, or your operational data. We can make them available for new analytics, for a new way of looking at it, and a new breed of applications. And we have to find a way to automate the collecting of data which is not collected today. All the different machines sitting around with new interfaces on, we have to plug them up also. And that's where we came into the picture and say, hey, we are a data aggregator, we are one platform. We want to collect all this data and make it available for all these guys who are starting looking at analytics. So we made a IoT, what we call an IoT Gateway. It's like an add-on to our communication platform. And what we do here is actually we are able to stream real-time machine data from the factory floor via our drivers and interfaces directly into cloud-based enterprise systems and platforms for real-time analytics. Not a mesh system, but real analytics system, provided like IBM and Splunk and ParStream and ThinkWorks and so on. And what we're doing is that we are linking together the OT, what we call the operation technology, that is what is happening on the factories, into the information technology. What we support is, for now, is that we have provided drivers or POPs-up communication protocols. We have a RESTful server, RESTful client, and MQTT. The MQP, which is used by other vendors, is still on our waiting list. We have it ready. We haven't tested it finally with Microsoft, because they are changing their mind all the time about changing a little bit. So we are on hold until now. But what we actually do now is that we provide a vendor independent interface for linking OPC UA, OPC UA client and server, all kind of PLC drivers. Data from these interfaces we can move directly into existing platforms and to companies who already have, will have or have already any kind of top-level analytic platforms. Just a small drawing to see what the difference is, or the different options here. That KEPServerEX was normally sitting in the middle of the factory, gathering data from hundreds of PLCs and providing it to ERP systems, to SCADA, to HMI, and so on. But suddenly we are able to push that to this cloud on. We are having different interfaces with IoT Gateway functionality and even OPC UA. But because it's not the interfaces to these IoT or cloud-based system is not only MQT or MQTT or REST, it is also UA. But there's only a few vendors of the big one who has actually agreed to use OPC UA at this point. Hopefully there will come much more. SAP is so far the only one who has a real IoT platform that can connect to them. So we are on a roadshow with SAP to find customers to make some real use cases. Okay. My final comment before we go to this one is actually that you have to understand, you have to realize the differences between what we are doing on the factory floor. We come from the IT, the operational space, from the factory floor, and what they do in the IT world. We are so used to have all these structured data that all is defined. We can make analytics, oh yeah, but it is on well-defined related data. The difference is if you go up to the top level for the IT analytics, it is just mass of data, and the analytics make the relation when they actually start searching for it, and that is the difference. And you have to realize this. A lot of the vendors of industrial analytics haven't seen that yet, but they will see it when this will move more forward. In terms of our platform, it is good timing because just today we have released version 5.19 where the IoT Gateway is part of it. You can get it directly, download a full version from Kepware.com. You can try it. It runs for 2 hours in full version. And you can just restart the OPC server, and then it will run again for 2 hours. Try it, download it. It's really easy. You can find on our YouTube, you can find videos about getting started and how easy it is to set up a driver and a client connection. Kepware is operating in outside US through a partner network. Our partner here in the Nordics is Novotech. And in Finland, it's Novotech local here, OE. And they will actually have a number of webinars about how you use our products. So you're welcome to participate. You can go into www.novotech.fi and find all the details and sign up to webinars if you want and interested to look at this. It says it's there, yes. Thank you. Any questions?